Welcome to Lifestyles with Terry Lynn. Today I'm going to cook lunch, which will be a broccoli soup, cream of broccoli soup. I'm going to roast a pumpkin, a small pumpkin to make dessert for later. And I'm going to prep pizza toppings for dinner. My husband loves pizza. Okay, let's get busy. Okay, I've got the oven set at 400. I've got a little pumpkin I've washed and dried. Very small, isn't it? I was going to keep it around for decorations, but it was getting a little soft, so we need to roast this right away. I will attempt to make half of a pumpkin pie with this. By half of a pumpkin pie, I mean I'll use half a recipe. I'm hoping to get enough puree from this pumpkin to do that. If not, I will improvise. There we go. It's got seeds. We'll take a spoon and scoop them out. I'm going to save the seeds and roast them at some point. I'm going to look up a recipe for that because I haven't had the best luck in roasting pumpkin seeds. This is going all over the board. The pumpkin seeds are. Okay. And you don't need to wash the seeds. They're inside the pumpkin, so they're perfectly clean. It should be just fine. I'm thinking I would like roasted cinnamon, pumpkin seeds with cinnamon flavor maybe, cinnamon and sugar. So I'll look up a recipe for that. I love making puree. I love anything to do with squashes and pumpkins. I grew quite a bit during the summer. Maybe I planted them a little bit too soon, but that may have been a good thing because we have such a drought now here in Ohio. And I watered every morning or every night, and still the vines, they dried up early. So I had to pick my winter squashes early. And that's why they're so small. That's just part of life. Just because they're small doesn't mean you have to dispose of them. You can still cook them and eat them. I'm trying to get all the seeds out of here. So this is more or less an underripe pumpkin a little bit. I'm hoping to get enough puree. Like I said, if not, I will improvise. I may add something else. I may cook up another of my pumpkins or squashes to have more puree. It will be a very small pumpkin pie. There's only 2 of us that live here, so. All right, then I'm getting all the seeds out. I've already got the oven preheated, and I've got parchment paper on my pan over there. So, just getting all the seeds out sometimes can be an issue. There's a lot of seeds. That's an indication, oh, it was really hot. It just didn't get very big, did it? But it's full of seeds. Okay. Woo! Look at that. It's full of seeds. I love the fall. Sunday's the first day of fall. I can hardly wait. I wish it would feel like fall. The summer has been a hot one, a scorcher. Boy, has it ever. Oh, geez. Okay, I want to explain something. My channel is not just a cooking channel. It's Lifestyles with Terry Lynn. And it can be anything and everything. So a little mix of this, a little mix of that, will make it fun. Variety is the spice of life, I believe. Oh boy. This is a very seedy pumpkin indeed. We'll see what puree we can get from this. It won't be much. I might be making a third of a pumpkin pie. Nevertheless, it will be consumed. We're not wasting anything in this family if we can help it. Here we go. Woo! The dogs are in the living room taking naps right now. They were out earlier and they came in, I gave them their milk bones. You know what time it is? I've got an OSU clock up here. 6:10. Okay, in the morning. I get up early. Early rising is good for you, I believe. to each their own, but I like to get up early and take care of the important matters in life. Oh, I've already had my cup of coffee. That sure helps too. All right. Okay, let's put it on the pan. It's over here. Yeah, just a moment. Yeah, awkwardness is part of life too, and you just move on with it. I'll put this on pause for a moment. Okay, now we're over here on the stove. Here's the pumpkin. On parchment paper, on the jelly roll pan, you just put it on this side. And it will roast, the inside of it will roast for about, I would say about 35 minutes. It seems like they're so small, maybe just 30 minutes at 400. We wanted to get to roast so we're soft enough inside and cooked enough so we can puree them easily without adding liquid or anything. I don't even want to add olive oil if I can help it. So that will be a very fresh pumpkin pie we're going to make out of a very small pumpkin. And you can eat pumpkin by itself also. You don't have to put it into anything. It is very tasty and very healthy with lots of vitamin D. Vitamin A for sure. Okay, back to the board where the seeds are. I'm going to retract what I said. You do need to rinse these because there's pulp. That's the only reason, otherwise they're perfectly clean from being inside the pumpkin. Okay, so I'm going to rinse these off and save them for future use. Okay. Another thing, I may get long-winded if I'm talking about my family history because genealogy is very important to me. I have an account with Ancestry.com and a very long family tree. Although family doesn't live here, I don't have any family here. Yes, I have family here, but I'm not real close to them at this time. I do have some kids, and they do live in Columbus. But what I mean is, my sisters live out of town, and I'm really close to them. My kids, they have a different lifestyle from me, so we don't always get along that well. I had one kid of mine say, "Why do I want to hang out with old people?" Referring to my husband and I as being old. So that wasn't very nice. I can't believe she said that. She was just being difficult at that time. I don't know what she was upset about. She just wanted to hang out with her friends, I guess. Okay. I didn't want to be bothered by older people, even though I'm her mother. You think she'd want to hang out with me? Oh well. Let's see here. I'm just going to throw that to the side and try to get the pulp out of this as much as possible. This part I really didn't study up on. A lot of times I admit I do throw the seeds away because I haven't had the best experience getting them crunchy enough to eat when I bake them. Okay. So I think I'm just going to, this is completely unedited and unscripted. I just started doing this morning. I didn't have any plans. I had plans for cooking what I'm cooking today, but I didn't have plans to do a video. So I'm just going to put them in here, put it in the refrigerator, and then at some point I'll roast them. I'll have to study up on that a little bit. Okay. All right, I need to time this, so it'll be about 7:15 when the pumpkin is ready to pull out. In the meanwhile, I have my board here, and I have broccoli that I cooked the other day. It's a good idea if you're going to make broccoli soup to cook or steam. In this case, I steamed the broccoli ahead of time. And it's very easy to steam. I think most people know how to do it. I'll show you what I used, just in case. All right, maybe not everyone has done it before. here's what I used. A pan. It has a pan on top of it. It has holes in it. This is how you steam. Put the water in this pan. You put the broccoli in this pan. And I cut up the broccoli into little pieces. And then you boil it. And then you check on it when it's tender. You turn it off, pull it out. So it's very simple. That's exactly how I did it, how I steamed it. And that way it retains quite a bit of its vitamins. So the broccoli is cooked for the soup already. What we need to cut up, the only other vegetable I'm going to add is onion. Now sometimes I've added carrots, shredded carrots, or just little diced carrots. My husband prefers that I just leave it with the onion, so, and the other ingredients that will go in it. So let me chop up some onion for this. I'll try to peel this. And this is real handy because I can wash my hands. I just love it. I've got bar soap over here to save money. I use a lot of bar soap instead of using liquid soap all the time. That can be very pricey. Okay. This looks like you're getting a pretty good view. All right, then, let's get busy. Yeah, we've had a terrible drought here in Ohio. I don't know about the other states. I think there's been droughts in other locations throughout the United States. I know they've had a lot of rain on the East Coast and south of us. So just the opposite problem going on. We haven't had rain. It's been too long to count. The ground out there is so dry it's cracked. We don't water our grass. We never have. I just never saw the point to it. We never had to. We've never had a drought like this that I can recall. This long without rain is very unusual in Ohio, Central Ohio. So I'm wondering what's going on with the weather. But I've been keeping my sweet potatoes and my other veggies out there, fall veggies, watered on a regular basis. Okay, we don't need too much onion. This is going to be a small amount of soup. Yeah, it's for 2 people. I mean, we'll eat it a couple times. Maybe 4 portions from this. I've got the onion cooked. I didn't get my pan out yet, so that I'm going to use. I'm just going to cook it right in the pan. Okay, and you can do it. Also, I have to get the camera over here, I guess, pretty soon. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a little olive oil and cook the onion. And then I'm going to add my ingredients as I go along, the other ingredients. Let's adjust this camera. Story of my life lately. Okay, I'm heating up my olive oil. I'm going to add the onion. It's all the way over here. So let's get the onion. There. As soon as it heats up just a little bit, not much. Yeah, I do like using my tablet better than my smartphone, that's for sure. I need a better smartphone. The day before yesterday I had an experience, oh boy. So now we're trying this tablet, and I was able to work with the tripod to lower it and put it on the counter. So we'll see how this goes. All right, put that in. And you're hearing it sizzle, that's a good thing. Okay, then I'm going to be adding 4 cups of water. And then the chicken bouillon. This is good stuff. Actually, flour before that. Okay. You know what I forgot? Forgot one item. Be right back. I'm actually not following a recipe, I'm just winging it. But I do this all the time, I make it all the time. My husband loves this soup. It's probably his favorite soup. Maybe number 2, actually, because he loves fresh vegetable soup. Vegetable beef soup, he loves that. I'll have to make that sometime this fall. That's one of my favorite soups to make. Got the butter in here. Didn't really need the olive oil, come to think of it, but we might add an extra little something. Nothing wrong with that. So we'll let that melt down, and then we'll be adding our flour. I have about 4 tablespoons of flour. So, and then we'll be adding also the water, about 4 cups, and the chicken bouillon. Okay. Let that cook down, and I'm going to add the flour. Okay. We do have an OSU game tomorrow against Marshall, not Michigan. That's next week. And another Michigan team we're going to play against, and it's in Ohio. It's here at Ohio State, and it's with Marshall University in West Virginia, I believe. So we do have a game tomorrow. Pretty excited about that. All right, something to watch on TV. I'm not sure what time it starts. I'll have to find out, and what channel it's on. Okay, as you can see, well, you can kind of see, we got it melted down. Let's put the flour in. Okay. Now I've got the fire turned down as low as possible. And this is almost looks like dough. The butter with the flour. And there's onion in there for extra flavor. Okay. Once it looks like that, you'll add your water, 4 cups. And then you'll turn up the heat. You don't add all the water, just a little bit at a time. Just keep stirring and stirring away with the whisk. A whisk is the best thing to use, believe me. You want to get in there and get all that little dough balls or whatever, you want to get them mixed up, like pureed almost. Because this is a cream soup, cream of broccoli soup. Okay, in the meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and start adding. Just going to go ahead and add it. I'm going to add the water so that will add liquid. 4 teaspoons of chicken broth, chicken bouillon. It's already in the powder form. I'm going to add some more water here as soon as it starts to boil a little bit. You add about half the water, stir it really well with the whisk, then actually bring it to a boil a little bit. Keep stirring, keep stirring. You don't want it to be lumpy. Although after you put the broccoli in there, it doesn't really matter that much. And you're probably going to add cheese, so however you like it. If you want it thinned out more than if you want it thick, you can always adjust it. If it's too thick, you can always add extra milk. We're going to add milk to this anyway, and sour cream. That really adds a lot of flavor. Okay. Originally when I made this, I had a recipe that I got online, but it was years ago. I might have that recipe somewhere in the back room in my files. Files. Under recipes. Oh, I'll check. I doubt if I wrote down where it came from, but maybe I'll research that and let you know. I changed my recipes around. I don't really stick with recipes as much as other people, so. But this one, I did follow through. I mean, I just memorized it and kept on using it. It's been about 4 or 5 years I've been using this. I never made broccoli soup in my life. My mother-in-law liked it. She would get it from Panera Bread. She loved broccoli soup, and I thought, well, I'm going to learn how to make that. And I did. I got a recipe. So I want to find that recipe so I can post it. Yeah, post it on this vlog, video vlog. I'm just going to add the rest. It will work itself out. If for some reason it's too thin and you want to thicken, you can always add cornstarch. Just put a little cornstarch in a bowl and stir it with cold water before you add it. Then you immediately use the whisk. So cornstarch will help thicken it. Because you don't want it to be too thin, because you're going to add milk too. I don't add very much milk. Just a little bit. A little bit of milk and sour cream goes a long way, actually. Okay. Just keep stirring. Okay. Just a moment. Okay, add your broccoli. How much did I use? I really can't say. I just used enough for 4 portions? Yeah. As far as broccoli. Okay, I'm still going to continue to stir with the broccoli in there. And as far as salt and pepper, you don't really add it until the end. And you taste it first. It's going to be really hot, so you can go ahead and add your pepper, but be careful with the salt, because the bouillon, the powdered bouillon has salt in it. So you may not need any. It's according to your taste. I would just salt at the end. Yeah, if you need it. You probably will need a little bit. Ah, look at that one. It didn't get cut up enough. Okay. My husband doesn't mind that. His sister one time made broccoli soup and it had big pieces of broccoli in it. And big, huge pieces of carrots. And his mom, she wanted it cut up for her. And we did, cut it up for her. So each person has their own style of cooking. And some people like big vegetables. You know, they don't chop them up too much. Danny, it's about medium size. His mom liked her vegetables diced. She complained about potatoes one time in vegetable soup. They're not small enough. I said, I'll dice them up next time instead of just chopping them into 2-inch pieces, or, yeah, it actually was 1.5 or an inch. She wanted them in 1/2-inch pieces. She liked little potatoes. She didn't really like that many potatoes in her vegetable soup. She liked a lot of carrots though, yeah. All right then. So, I did put the lid on this at one point. It's a little thinner than what I prefer it, because I'm going to be adding milk too. I don't have to add much milk. Okay. And these are the other ingredients over here that I'm going to be adding. Milk, a little bit of milk. Lemon juice, very little. And sour cream, very little. Moderation is the key. Don't go overboard with any of that. At least I wouldn't. But to each their own. Keep stirring. Okay. And when you put cheese in there, because I will put some